Professor Mzikayise Binza is a political analyst, and he joins us now to take a look at this. Thank you very much, Prof, for your time this afternoon. Historically, what did uMkhonto weSizwe stand for? What was the contribution of uMkhonto weSizwe to South Africa?
Good afternoon, and the listeners of News Africa. uMkhonto weSizwe was established in 1961 on the 16th of December as an arms wing of the liberation movement of the African National Congress. So basically it was an instrument to liberate people through the defense means, and then that's what it was actually created for. So it's never been considered as a political mechanisms like it is being said by the former president yesterday.
What happened to the armed wing of the ANC at the dawn of democracy?
So at the dawn of democracy, what we know is that because the ANC adopted a peaceful mechanisms in terms of liberating the country, there were negotiations. So the MK was therefore put aside to say it must be amalgamated within the defense mechanisms of the country. That is the South African Defense Force. So it went into the amalgamation, but the name remains to sort of give that particular history to all South Africans, in particular during the ANC rallies. So it's only for the ANC politics and the ANC history. But as a defense, as an official defense mechanism, it is a process or a project that died in 1994 when it was actually amalgamated into the SANDF.
Was there consensus that this military wing of the ANC will then be buried within the party? Was there consensus?
Yes, madam, there was a consensus that it must be put aside, but therefore, because remember, after 1994, the MK will not grow, because the MK grew because people were going, overseas, joining the armed struggle, and then it grew. But after 1994, when it was actually amalgamated, then we know that it will die at the end, when the last soldier of the MK dies. So it will never grow, basically. So there was a consensus in that regard.
Prof, those who did not get absorbed into the military, those who did not get absorbed into government structures, who were members of uMkhonto weSizwe, those who did not get absorbed anywhere, who in 2023, some say they are languishing in poverty. What then happens to those people when they see the former president backing this party that is called uMkhonto weSizwe? While more research is about to be done on the party, but just the sentiment of uMkhonto weSizwe, when you take a look at those who have so-called or allegedly been left behind by their party, how much of an attraction is this likely to be for them?
Firstly, it's true, there were those soldiers of MK who were not absorbed. So there were two approaches used at that time. One was a more merit claim-based approach to say all those soldiers who had no criminal record, except a criminal record that would be received when you are a soldier. A soldier is there to kill and create peace. But those who went through the system by other means, therefore, they were basically excluded. But then there was an agreement that the government must basically employ those soldiers. And if government cannot employ, they must join the private security companies. But unfortunately, some were employed, but because the government never created any psychological counseling. And those who were employed, some of them left their formal jobs. They didn't stay long in government. That basically tells us that psychologically they were not basically trained to have longevity in the formal system. So the issue now of the MK being used as a political party, I think is something else, because the name itself belongs to the African National Congress. It cannot be members of the ANC who would decide without any policy resolution to say we are now creating a new political party that is going to contest the elections in 2024 without the blessings of the mother body, that is the ANC.
Professor
without even, without even having a resolution of the entire veteran, which is the MK veteran. I think we need to look deeply. Who are the people doing this? Is the entire structure behind them? The answer is no. The entire structure is not behind them. Thank you.
Is the word uMkhonto weSizwe, what is it? Is it watermarked? Is it watermarking, or is it what is it when you make sure that no one can use that name? Are we aware of that? Is that something that exclusively belongs to the ANC? Even if they were to go to court to fight, then the judge would say yes because you have put whatever legal processes in place. Do we know that?
I think the common sense in this regard is supposed to prevail, madam, to say whether there is no legal watermark, as you say, or a scientific watermark, but the name itself, in terms of the common sense, tells us that it's a name that belongs to the African National Congress, and therefore not everybody can basically use that.
I'm being assisted by our technical director, as well as the show's executive producer, trademark or patent, etc. So along those lines. But thank you very much for your time this afternoon.